And women who accuse New York Governor Andrew Cuomo of misconduct say they feel vindicated and relieved after Cuomo announced he's stepping down. Front pages of major newspapers marked the governor's fall from grace after a state investigation found he sexually harassed 11 women. Cuomo was also under investigation for his management of nursing homes and nursing home death information during the pandemic, as well as other allegations. But just a week ago, it looked as though he would not give up the fight. Ariel Reshef has more on what led to the end of his decade in office.
This morning, a stunning downfall for New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, resigning amid multiple allegations of sexual harassment.
Given the circumstances, the best way I can help now is if I step aside and let government get back to governing.
The governor averting lengthy impeachment proceedings, but his legal battle just beginning as he faces possible misdemeanor charges in Albany stemming from a criminal complaint filed by his former executive assistant, Brittany Commisso.
And that's when he put his hand up my blouse and cupped my breast over my bra.
Cuomo saying that never happened. His resignation coming 1 week after the release of that scathing report from the state attorney general that found he harassed 11 women. At Tuesday's press conference, Cuomo's attorney speaking first, slamming the report as biased. Cuomo then denying the allegations, but apologizing to the women.
In my mind, I've never crossed the line with anyone. But I didn't realize the extent to which the line has been redrawn. There are generational and cultural shifts that I just didn't fully appreciate. And I should have. No excuses.
For the first time, Cuomo addressing allegations made by a state trooper assigned to his personal security detail, who told investigators the governor groped her on 2 separate occasions.
I did not mean any sexual connotation. I did not mean any intimacy by it. I just wasn't thinking. It was embarrassing to her, and it was disrespectful. It was a mistake, plain and simple.
The state trooper's attorney, Gloria Allred, says resigning was the right choice, but rejecting the idea that the governor didn't know better.
He used his power, he used his influence, he used his prestige in order to hurt women.
It's a crushing downfall for a man once one of the most prominent voices in the Democratic Party. Just last year, hailed for his leadership during the pandemic and considered a Democratic contender for president. Hours after the governor's announcement, President Biden weighing in.
You called on him to resign. Did you think he would?
I respect the governor's decision, and I respect the decision he made.
Cuomo says he wants this transition to be as seamless as possible. Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul says she is ready to leave. She will serve out his term through the end of 2022. She will make history as New York's first female governor. Diane?
All right, Ariel Reshef in Albany, New York for us. Thank you. And let's bring in New York Assembly member Jessica González-Rojas of Queens for more on this. Assembly member, thank you so much for being here. I'm curious first just to get your reaction. What did you think when you heard Governor Andrew Cuomo get up in front of the cameras and say, I'm stepping aside?
Honestly, it was quite shocking, Diane. It was, he is a person with a big ego, and I thought he'd sort of fight to the bitter end. But quite frankly, the writing was on the wall. This was long overdue. The legislature, the public, we have lost our trust in his leadership. And there's so many crises that we're facing here in New York. And it was the right thing to do. However, I feel like he has not taken adequate responsibility. He still denies allegation. He still disparages and discredited the survivors. And he continues to gaslight them. So we have enormous amount of work to do, because this is not just about Governor Cuomo. This is about a historic and pervasive culture of harassment and intimidation in Albany that we need to change systemically.
This also wasn't just about sexual harassment allegations. Cuomo's office was accused of mismanaging nursing homes during the pandemic, then effectively covering up nursing home deaths, misusing government resources for his book, and giving inappropriate access to COVID testing to his friends and family. I know the state assembly was investigating that. How does the governor's office and the state government in general recover from this?
Our Judiciary Committee has done a very thorough investigation so far. There's still more work to do. I hope we actually continue with the impeachment process because, again, resigning doesn't mean accountability or full accountability. There's a number of issues on the table, things that we need to address, in the moment, right, and ensure that he's held accountable. But we also need to address this by advancing policies that will prevent and prohibit this from happening in the future. So there's a lot more work to do. I'm ready to get to work. I'm excited to be able to work with the incoming governor, Kathy Hochul, who will be the first woman to represent the state of New York. And we want to get back to the people's work.
And as you mentioned, Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul, she'll be taking office. She'll be taking over as governor. What does that mean for New York, and what challenges do you think she faces going in?
Well, she's, extremely competent. I think it's going to be a breath of fresh air in terms of leadership. But there's certainly tons of crises that we're facing. The COVID pandemic continues to ravage our community. We have an impending eviction crisis. Our communities are still facing food insecurity. There's health disparities. There's an overdose pandemic. There's criminal justice reform that needs to happen. There's a lot of work to do. So she's certainly going to have a tough road ahead. But I think the Assembly, the Senate, I think we're all ready to rally behind her and ensure that she's successful for the state of New York.
All right, New York Assembly member Jessica González-Rojas, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.